39 DQS. Monitoring. K9 DQS Net Control. Just reaching out to see if anyone would like to check in early this evening.
KC.
We'll get started in about 5 minutes.
Good evening. The time is 9 p.m.
As the lady said, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance Net. My name is Todd. My call sign, Kilo Echo 9, Delta, Quebec, Sierra, at Net Control this evening. Really glad to have you all here with us. Can we take a moment to acknowledge that it's August already? The year is absolutely flying by. Not sure how I feel about that, but here we are. It's Wednesday, and that means it is Net Night, and that's always a good thing. As we kick off August, there's a lot worth acknowledging this month. This month is International Peace Month. Always a reminder of the values this community has always tried to embody. On the 13th, we mark a big one for our hobby. In 1912, President Taft signed the Radio Act of 1912 into federal law, regulating the airwaves, so that FCC license you have now turns 114 years old on the 13th there. Quick break. August 14th is National Navajo Code Talkers Day, honoring some of the most remarkable communicators in history. August 20th is National Radio Day, which honestly, every day feels like National Radio Day around here. And we'll round it out. August 26th is National Women's Equality Day, a cause close to the heart of everyone here and what we're building here at Alliance. I wish everyone a good month. To our returning operators, welcome back. Always a pleasure to hear you on the air. Tonight's net runs in cooperation with Pride Radio Network, who provide the reflector system that keeps us all connected week to week. And for our logging tonight, we are using netcontrol.live to track our check-ins for our roundtable. If you've got a screen nearby, you can pull that up and follow along real time. It's completely optional, but it just helps us keep things organized. But I think you'll like it. Very similar to the former ham.live. To anyone joining us on the YouTube live stream tonight, welcome. We are genuinely glad you found us. The audio delay between RF and YouTube audio is negligible tonight, so that's good. KC1MUR has been working on latency with that here recently and getting us dialed in pretty well. Break for more. And before we get things started, one thing I always like to say is that whether we have 5 or 50 check-ins tonight doesn't really matter. We're here, we're not going anywhere, and every single person on this frequency is welcome. Small nets are still good nets, and we'd rather have a few genuine conversations than a crowded room where no one feels at home. If this is your first time finding us, welcome. The Alliance exists because we believe this hobby belongs to everyone. No experience required, no barriers to entry. Just key up and say hello. Before we get started, do we have any emergency or priority traffic for the net? Please come now. Hearing none, let's get into it. To kick things off, we'll open the floor for any short time or in and out stations. If you're mobile, on a break, or just can't stay for the whole net tonight, this is your window right here. Give us your call sign, name, location, and anything you'd like to share, and then we'll get you on your way. So any short time station who'd like to check in now, please go ahead. Not hearing any short timers. We do have one check-in here early on the YouTube chat. As always, KM7ETI Christian, thank you for joining us here on YouTube. Enjoy your pizza this evening. Sounds very good. Looks like what'd you say? Cheese and bacon stuffed crust. Wow, that's I've never had the bacon stuff. Sounds very nice. Can't go wrong with pizza or bacon or cheese, for that matter. If anyone is out there, again, we're using netcontrol.live. Track our check-in and roundtable order. You can pull that up if you like. Completely optional. Just help us keep things running smoothly on our end. Before we start, a quick word to anyone new to Nets or just getting comfortable on the air. There's always nothing to worry about here. You don't need perfect signal or the right terminology, just your call sign and a willingness to key up. To our regulars, as always, thank you for your patience and warmth, and it genuinely makes a difference. I'll take check-ins now. Any regular check-ins, please give your call sign phonetically and slowly, your name and location. Go ahead.
This is Whiskey 1 Delta November Sierra, Colin, Connecticut.
K9DQS, Net Control. I copy that. Whiskey 1 Delta November Sierra, Colin. Thank you for checking in. I have you logged in here. I'll put it back out there to see if we have anyone else who'd like to check in. Please come now.
This is Kilo Golf 1, Juliet Alpha Golf, KG1, JAG, Josephine in Columbia, Maryland.
K9DQS Net Control. I copied the first part, KC1. What was your suffix there? Please come back with that.
KG1, JAG, Kilo Golf 1, Juliet Alpha Golf.
Copy that. Got it this time. Kilo Golf 1, Juliet Alpha Golf. Thank you very much, Josephine, for checking in. Glad to have you, first-timer, with us here this evening. I think I spoke with you via Facebook chat there recently about the WPDS node there. Glad you're with us this evening. All right, Josephine, I have you logged in there in our logbook there on netcontrol.live. If there's anyone else who'd like to check in, please come now. Well, first I'll check the chat here. We do have a KQ4 in RI, Jim, in Midlothian, Virginia. Thank you very much for checking in on our YouTube chat there. I will get you in the log, Jim. And we had another Newham. They're checking in on YouTube. I have a username, COIT protocol. If you want to put your name in the chat there, If not, no big deal. But yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations on passing your technician there. Very cool. Did that today. Awesome. Great to hear. All right, I'll put it out there one more time for any regular check-ins. Please go ahead, and then we'll go into announcements. So any regular check-ins, please come now. All right, not hearing any more check-ins right at the moment. Looks like a gentleman who received his ticket today, Joseph from Kentucky. Thank you very much for joining us here on YouTube. And again, congrats on passing the technician test today. Yeah, there is definitely plenty of radio videos on YouTube. It's I like to call it YouTube University. You can learn just about anything, especially ham radio-wise. A wealth of knowledge out there. Again, thank you for joining us. Quick break. All right, before we get into roundtable, got a couple of quick announcements here. If you haven't checked out the AARN YouTube channel lately, go take a look at that. Scott, KC1MUR, has been putting out some really good product and software reviews. His latest one on the HD Commander, very good. And you can also check out my conversation with temporarily offline Steve KM9G. It's a long one, but it is worth your time. And coming up, we've got an interview with Amateur Radio Digital Communications, better known as ARDC, one of the most impactful organizations in amateur radio. That should be coming out here soon in the next couple of weeks. And also a surprise guest interview dropping in early September. Be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of it. And also another reminder about our STEM Excellence Scholarship that we're offering. It is live, it's real, and we could use your help for sure. We're raising around $3,000 to cover a $2,000 education award, a laptop, and an amateur radio package for a deserving high school senior heading into a STEM-related field in fall of 2027. You can donate at allianceamateur.org. You can shop our merch store or use our affiliate links. Everything's listed in the YouTube description on our live stream. And you can also find us on Linktree. It's linktr.ee/alliance_radio. All the full scholarship details can be found at scholars.allianceamateur.org. Quick break. All right, we'll move into our roundtable discussion this evening. And if you're following along on netcontrol.live, you can see our order. Tonight's topic, ham radio DIY. Let us know what all of you have going on. What's your favorite project you've done so far? You got something on the workbench right now, a project you've been dreaming about but you haven't pulled the trigger on yet, or anything ham DIY you just want to talk about, or that's caught your eye recently. You know, antenna project, enclosures, cables, kits, shack builds, whatever it is. If you made it or you want to make it, we want to hear about it. So first off, we have Colin at W1DNS. Colin, how are you doing this evening? And what's your thoughts on ham radio DIY recently?
Good evening, everybody. As far as that goes, I mean, I'm not too handy with the hardware. The software is more my thing. Let's see here. That being said, let's see here. I have about half a 10 gigahertz kit sitting around. Sadly, it didn't include instructions, just some blurry drawings. So I have to figure out how to solder all that together, and then find a satellite dish or something like that. But that's my someday project over here. Getting on 10 gigahertz, possibly someone's on the air. W1 DNS, back to net.
Very cool, Colin. KE9DQS Net Control with W1DNS, Colin. That sounds like a very big undertaking there. I've not dabbled into like that kind of satellite making, I'm kind of a jack of all trades but master of none type thing. I like the hardware stuff and the software stuff, but I'm not as knowledgeable with either. Just I just end up just enough to be dangerous. Thank you very much for sharing this evening, Colin. We'll move on to next in line. It would be Kilo Golf 1, Juliet Alpha Golf, Josephine. Thank you for joining us this evening. And what do you have on your bench as far as DIY projects going here?
Projects go, I've been doing a bunch of different things. I've built some common mode chokes for my end-fed half-wave. Made a line, like if there's a break in a wire detector, made one of those. And really I've been getting more into the software side, so I got onto WinLink. I'm on VARA AC, kind of learning the VARA AC stuff, the VARA FM, UHF and VHF frequencies. So, like you, a Jane of all trades, master of none, kind of got my finger in a bunch of different things. And never know, I wake up at 3 a.m. and I have an idea, so I'll go write it down. Back to net control. This is KG1 JAG.
KE9DQS Net Control, thank you very much. KG1 JAG. Yeah, very cool. I'm definitely wanting to get more into the simple antenna design myself, like the infant halfways and that sort of thing, and building balance and chokes like that. I definitely would like to become proficient at that period. I find that aspect of ham radio like one of the most interesting parts of it. Just the building of antennas. Period. I mean, I think that's such a cool thing to do, and just to be able to harness all that, information with just, the thinnest of wires is just very cool to me, the sounding. But very cool on the projects there, and hopefully getting on that WPDS hotspot wasn't, and hopefully my explanation there on the Facebook chat wasn't too vague. I probably did a horrible job explaining that, but yes, thank you for joining us this evening. Hope to have you back. All looking at the YouTube chat. Scott, KC1MUR, he's trying to figure out the pinout on an ancient Asden 2-meter. I have not heard of that before. And an RMS gateway for wind. Oh yeah, definitely, yeah. WindLink, that's something else I'm wanting to get into as well, with the whole APRS and WindLink stuff. There's just so many rabbit holes you can go down. It's like it's endless. It's for a person with ADHD, it's like a dream. Very cool. And if anyone else wants to share there in the chat what they have going on as well, please feel free to as well. All right, I'll throw it back out, see if there's anyone else who'd like to check in. We're talking about DIY projects this evening. Again, yeah, if you'd like to check in, please go ahead and come now. Not hearing anyone at the moment. We're looking here at the national ham events coming up here for the month of August. Big one going, a couple of big ones coming up in the Northeast here. Northeast Ham Exposition up there in the greater Boston area starting August 13th, lasting through the 16th. That's a big one up there, very popular. Also, Hackers on Planet Earth, big conference happening in New York City that same weekend there, the 14th through the 16th. I think one of our folks here in the net this evening, Colin W1DNS, I think you said you're going to Hackers on Planet Earth 26 this year, QSL?
Yeah, QSL. Yes, I will. Sadly, it's on. Yeah. So sadly, it's on the same days as Ham Exposition this year. So I'll be at Hope only.
Copy that. Yeah, I'd definitely like to learn more about that. Maybe you can, if you're being inclined, you can give us a little recap of that once you go, and we can put something in the upcoming newsletter. I'd definitely like to hear about that for sure. Your thoughts. Also coming up, also on that same weekend, anyone here in the Midwest, Cincinnati Ham Fest will be, I think it's a Saturday only, August 15th. If there's anyone out here who's in the Midwest near Cincinnati, maybe Joseph there in our YouTube chat, that might be something interesting for you. I don't know how close you live to Cincinnati, but I've always heard good things about Cincinnati Ham Fest. And then the big one there at the end of August, the last full weekend there in Huntsville, Alabama. A lot of stuff going on. That's the AARL National Convention there in Huntsville, the Ham Fest. That one's been going on for quite some time. I think one of the longest continuously running Ham Fest in the country. I think dates back to the early 50s. But yeah, they're in Rocket City in Alabama, Huntsville. I don't know if I'm going to make it out there this year, but I definitely would like. I think I want to try and make that one next year. A lot of the ham radio YouTube personalities. They kind of have a conglomeration out there, and that might be neat to kind of pick some of their brains as well. All right, I'll throw it back out there to see if anyone else is out there would like to check in this evening. Please go ahead and come now. All right, hearing none, we'll go ahead and wind things down here for the evening. We had, it looks like 8 full check-ins, 6 with call signs, 2 without. The 2 without there on, no, we had 1 without, but soon to have there, Joseph in Kentucky. But 8 for the evening. Be sure and head on over to AARN YouTube channel when you get a chance and look at all of our great content we have up. And we have more on the way. I'm sure Scott KC1MUR is going to be putting out some great, he always puts out great videos for the software and hardware reviews. And we have the ARDC interview coming up, and then a big surprise guest here in September. Be sure and subscribe so you won't miss that out. And again, if you can help us support the scholarship fund, every little bit helps. You can donate, shop our merch store, or use our affiliate links. Next time you're picking up some gear, get some discounts and help us out. Details can be found at scholars.allianceamateur.org. And we'll have some more fundraising news coming up with that. We'll have some, we're going to be having some, maybe doing some raffle action here in the coming months. So stay tuned for that. Again, tonight's net was brought to you in cooperation with the Pride Radio Network. Again, their reflector system is the backbone of what we do here on Wednesdays. We're grateful for them each and every week. If you haven't looked them up, take a moment to. They're good people doing great work for this community. The Alliance Net meets every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and that's Thursday at 1 a.m. UTC. Do we have any final comments before we close? Please come now. All right, hearing nothing further, the Alliance Net is now closed at 9:29 Eastern. Again, this is Todd, call sign KE9DQS, signing off and returning the frequency and reflector system to its regular use. Thanks as always to the Pride Radio Network and 732 all. Good night, and we'll see you next Wednesday.